I am what you need. You're watching my channel. If you like this video, don't forget to share, subscribe, donate, and you can also donate via Western Union or MoneyGram. T Bud, Terrence Bud Crawford, man. Salute to this man. Being comfortable, being uncomfortable. That's a jewel, you know. Sometimes you don't feel like doing workouts or exercises or runs. And sometimes you need people in your life, he was saying, that would push you and push you to the next level. And so true. If you could push your own self to the next level, even better, right? One of the things I noticed is the precepts by which Terrence Crawford abides are the same principles that drove Mayweather to where he was. So that's one thing I realized about Terrence. And Terrence is truly showing how great he is. The only thing that is still not on the table, no fault of his really, is that he has not been able to, as of late, for the last couple of years, face, the opposition to show what he really is. There are still a lot of people who believe that he's pound for pound the number one fighter in the world, in spite of the fact that of late he hasn't really been able to face the opposition to really, solidify that claim. But definitely he is one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world. And clearly, the precepts, what I like is he shared some precepts with us. And this applies to anything you're doing. Um, Anything you're doing, it's all about doing things that are uncomfortable for you and doing them when you don't want to do them. Andrew Ward has said this, Floyd Mayweather relentlessly has said this. It's all about doing the things that make you uncomfortable. And when you're doing those things that make you uncomfortable, that are good for you, guess what? They'll also make your opponent uncomfortable when you get into the ring. It's an investment in the sport of boxing to do what other people are not doing, to go where other people won't go mentally. And so you have to push yourself daily, every single day, to get better and better at what you do. So that's a key ingredient, and it was just really nice for him to express that. um, Wanted to talk a little bit about Oscar De La Hoya, talking about you know the best that he has faced, and he had no small set of words for Colonel Sweet Pea Whitaker, who you have to remember that Oscar faced in his career, and he talked about Purnell's elusiveness, his speed, and, his skill. Um, in fact, Oscar believes in his heart that Pernell Whitaker was a better fighter than Floyd Mayweather was. And I'm not here to castigate Oscar because Oscar faced both of them, and therefore his opinion is going to be better than any one of our opinions, whether we agree with him or not, because we did not face those guys. And Oscar, being a sixth divisional world champion, facing so many different guys, he brought up Ike Butte, you know, I'm, you know, um, the man who, Ike Corte, sorry, Ike Corte, the man with a bazooka jab, they call him Bazooka, Ike Bazooka Corte, very hard jab. I love a fight Oscar had fought with Ike Corte, you know what I'm saying? Talked about a guy with the hardest, the toughest fight he ever had was with Ike Corte. He talked about, um, the guy with the greatest going to the body, and it was Bernard Hopkins for him. He talked about this, the guy who's better, the best ring general or the smartest fighter he has ever faced was Floyd Mayweather. Very intentional, very strategic. So he talked about those guys. Did he talk about Manny Pacquiao? I think he talked a little bit about Manny Pacquiao as well. Just talking about the Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer that he faced in his career. From the Julio Cesar Chavez with the greatest chin. He talked about him having the greatest chin to Hector Camacho. I mean, this guy's he's fought the who's who, Gennaro Hernandez, Fernando Vargas. I mean, he's fought some legendary fighters, and some of them in the Hall of Fame, some of them are not in the Hall of Fame. And so Oscar is such an underrated boxer. Some of the fights, you could argue that he won. You talked about the guy with the biggest heart he ever faced was Shane Mosley. You know what I mean? So, while a lot of people like to talk about the biggest heart, best jab, whatever. These are just listings. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, I think all boxers have heart, and all boxers have certain qualities that Oscar may have pinpoint one out of them, but all the fighters out there, what makes them great is sometimes that's a long story, but I think Terrence Bud Crawford kind of covers it. You know, if you're good at something, you have to ask yourself, what are you not good at, and work on that. And it's never comfortable, but doing things that you don't want to do or you don't like doing and doing them very, very well strengthens you mentally. Sometimes you do them better than uh, the things you want to do. Focusing on your weaknesses and making them into your strengths is a very powerful thing. So what you need. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a short one. We could talk about more upcoming fights if you guys want to. Whatever you want to talk about. And I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.